everybody. This is Dan Craven, back to another edition of Good Sports The Next Generation. You know, it's been a long time, and I bet you if you check your collection, you're going to find out the last time we were here, we had Eric Henry and Lon Wilson, myself, DJ, and I think Dwayne Kohler was on there talking about Super Bowl stuff. But all that's in the past. Abe Lincoln got shot. You know what I'm saying? Ancient history. We're moving forward here now. There's some exciting stuff happening here, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Talk a little bit maybe about some Stanley Cup. We're going to talk about some other things here, but we got some really big stuff going on. But before I do that, I just want to introduce who's all here today. I want to tell you who's not here. Dwayne's not here today. He's watching Bulldog baseball. They're playing Ring Gold down at, I think, Newcastle. So we're hoping the Bulldogs do well down there. Dominic DiLorenzo basically lost in space. We got an APB out on him. FBI's been looking for him. We haven't seen him in about 5 shows, so we're hoping that he's okay. Dom, if you know anybody, give me a ring just to make sure that you're safe. Now, of course, always my right-hand man, DJ Craven. Welcome to have you, big boy.
That's right. Good to be seen.
Good to be seen. Who's that thing right next to you hanging on?
I don't know if you can get a close-up in there. But this happens to be the Night Owl Hockey Championship trophy, the Wayne Davison Memorial Cup. I don't know, Kevin, you can see the bottom left-hand corner. The Red Rockets Channellock team ended up bringing in the old trophy here. If you just get a close up there, you can kind of see maybe some familiar names, maybe towards the top up there. But we just wanted to represent. I think we'll talk a little bit why we're talking about this trophy here in a few minutes.
We will. And next to him, Jay's always welcome to have you. Jay Verno's on.
Thank you.
Good to have you. And Jay's a big reason why we're here tonight. But the real reason why we're here tonight, we're real excited about this, people in Meadville. You've got to be excited about this. We got Aaron Rekich with us tonight. Aaron, welcome.
Great to meet you, Dan.
It's good to have you. And as we all know, if you don't know, shame on you for a month, but Aaron is now the new director at the MARC here. And maybe before I do anything that's out of line or out of whack, Jay, why don't you kind of give us a little history on how he got here, and then we'll talk to Aaron a little bit about his background, what he's doing. But
sure,
because you were a big part in getting this, and ladies and gentlemen, this is exciting, especially for me and people that use the MARC. We got someone young and exciting here, and let's go ahead and
sure.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You know, as part of the board, we are really trying to figure out a way to make our facility as viable and as involved in the community as we can. And so a couple years back, we were talking about where does this rink go from here, you know? And quite frankly, you know, it's been some tough years with things we've talked about in the past, you know, with funding changes and all of that. So the board really kind of dug in and decided that we really needed to kind of change the dynamic. And one of those big changes was we really needed to have a full-time rink director. We've never had that, at least in the 20 years I've been on the board. And so the goal there was to try to look for somebody who could come in and use best practices from other rinks across the country, but keeping in mind that we're an authority here. We're not a private enterprise, and I have to keep reminding people of that. This is not privately funded, so you can't just do anything you want to do. So the goal there was to look for someone who could work within our parameters, but also take our programming and take some of these sports that Meadville really supports. I mean, let's face it, we're a big hockey town. Yeah. But we can be more than that. And you know, last time we were here on this show, we talked about curling and how well that went over. And we've got some excitement with adults about curling. So we decided to go out and do a search, and we came across Aaron. And quite frankly, when he did his interview with our personnel committee, afterwards, I think everybody on the committee was like, wow, this is great. This is going to be a good fit. And of course, there's some details you have to go through to make sure that everything's handled appropriately. But once Aaron had accepted the position, and we immediately saw the passion and the ideas that he was going to bring to this facility, at long last, I can tell you, we needed somebody that could run the rink the same way we want to run some of the other aspects of our business. You know, we have a pool, we have a rink. We know there's opportunities to get better at both, and this is the operations side we're talking about. Quite honestly, last couple years we've been really focused on capital funds. You know, we've been focused on raising money, and you know, I'm pleased to report we've raised the money for the new ice chiller system. And that's going to be getting started here very shortly. So the goal there is to have that system up and running by the, I'll say mid-September is really the target date right now. Now, it's construction, so we can't always control that, but that is really kind of a hard stop. We really want to get the ice on by mid-September this year. So I guess what I'd like to do is just kick it over to Aaron, if that's okay, and
Absolutely,
and let him talk a little bit about his background.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great, yeah. So Aaron, if you would just kind of maybe tell us, what, your resume, so to speak. I mean, so in other words, maybe a couple things. Your resume, which is obviously an important part, but how did you hear about the facility? So, then we'll talk about some other things too, but let's hear a little bit more what Aaron's resume holds, if you don't mind.
Well, Meadville is actually, I'm originally from Newcastle, so I was at Hess Ice Rink a lot. So Meadville and Newcastle kind of had this rivalry going on about which ice rink was actually colder. They both started off as outdoor rinks, but I started at Hess Ice Rink 2010 in the back of the house, driving Zamboni, doing a lot of the operational stuff. Worked my way to the front of the house, and I left back to Butler in 2014. And my buddy called me and said, "Hey, I got a job at the Lemieux Center." And I said, "Oh, that's great, Pat." And he goes, "If you can get here in about 20 minutes, they're hiring Zamboni drivers. You got to make an ice cut, and that's pretty much your interview." So I drove as fast as I could down to Lemieux Center. Nice. I cut the ice, and they gave me a job right then and there.
No kidding.
So from there, I moved up to Zamboni driver, pretty much operational, just working with the assistant operations manager, Pat McMurray there. And it's been great ever since there. I was there until just recently, so 2017, and being in an ice rink since 2010, just working my butt off, working my way up.
There you go. So how'd you hear about this job?
Actually, my professor from Slip Rock called me and said, "Hey, I think they're looking for a rink manager up at Meadville. Talked to a guy named Dan Foster. You might want to check that out." So I gave Dan a ring, and within, I would say, 2 weeks, I had an interview, and the interview went fantastic. It was a perfect fit for me. It was pretty much going to be, Hockey Town USA for Aaron Rekich. So it was just superb. Jay was great, Dan was great, the Bulldogs were great, CCYHA, curling. They've all been so welcoming to me, and I'm so happy to be here.
That's good stuff. Now I know this. I saw, I think, a promotional picture, and I know you were out on the ice. So did you play did you play hockey at all, or?
Yeah, I played a little bit here and there.
Right.
Started with down at Ice Connection down in Butler. Played for the Dogs for a little bit, and then I moved my way up away from Pennsylvania for a little bit, and started back into roller hockey when I was about 25. And then I would say 29 years old, 2009 or so, started playing adult league hockey back at Hess, and then been on the ice ever since.
There you go. You got something there, Dave?
Good stuff. Yeah. So hopefully we can see you out there, and we can let you know how things are going.
Absolutely. Great. I'll definitely be right there with you. Hopefully my name will be on that cover.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. You'll definitely have a chance. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, with regards to some of the things. When somebody jumps from some people say from the Zamboni driver to director, that seems like an awful big jump. But obviously you've surrounded yourself with some people, and you kind of see how things are going, And I guess it's kind of like when an offensive coordinator becomes like the head coach. It's like, how do you know what to do? I guess it's just from seeing what other people have done, or that kind of thing.
I really believe in every facet of your life you keep learning. So I was originally a school teacher in Virginia for a couple of years.
Nice.
So I was big on the programming side of that, so learned a lot, took a lot of that in. And then once I got to Hess, it was more the operations side of it. So pretty much blending all this together, I was also the program director at YMCA down in Newcastle. So it was a perfect fit, programming, operations, both together. Really passionate. I believe in learning everything you can from each job you're in.
There you go. Now, with regards to programming, I know even though you're coming from Hess or you're coming from Lemieux Center or whatever, just you got limited. You've got stuff in your mind what you want to do. So how do you kind of sit down and prioritize and say, okay, I know we got the Bulldogs here and we got the ice skating here, and do you sit down with each member of their board? How do you get the feel for what they're doing and what you want to do?
Well, it's a lot of active listening. Sitting down with all these heads of user groups here, it's been great working with them. They've all been very supportive of the MARC, and they want to see this around for a long time. So we'll start individually meeting with everybody, and then hopefully, on a monthly basis, we'll be able to meet all together as user groups to just know what each other is doing, understanding what each user group, needs the ice for. I think that would help a lot out with, collaboration.
Right.
And I believe that's the most important thing. I think we need to bring everybody here. Everybody's here for the community. And Jay's been great with introducing me to, the heads of being for most of the user groups. So it's been fantastic.
There you go. Now, with regards to like support group, with regards to like inter-office stuff, I mean, do you have like a second? I mean, what's your staff look like? Is that okay to ask that question?
Well, yeah. I mean, keep in mind, we brought him in as a new position, so
Right.
we didn't have. It's not like we brought his whole team in, right?
Right, that's right.
So what we're doing is we're kind of, I'll say, inserting Aaron into a situation where we already have somebody running the pool for us. We're really working real hard with the YMCA on the pool side of things. We've got Kylie Feldmiller, who's our office assistant, and she takes care of a lot of the bookwork and a lot of the behind-the-scene types of things, does a great job there. We've got Aaron now to run the rink operation, and we also have, I'll say, a combination, because we've got Les and Kevin on our maintenance side of things. Kevin is out right now for a medical leave, but he'll be back and helping Aaron with basically taking care of the back of the house the way that Aaron knows we can do.
Right.
And that's one thing I will tell you is that we've got a great team of motivated people. We just we're looking for the right fit.
Somebody to guide them.
Right, and the business is different. What it takes to run a rink is different than what it takes to run a pool. So I can tell you that's one of the most exciting things about this is we've never had a person that was just solely responsible for the arena.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound mean about this, but I think you're right, and I think that's important. I think a lot of people that were ahead of Aaron, I mean, I think they did the best that they could do, knowing what they could do. But now that you bring someone in that's what they do,
Specialized.
Yeah, special. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like doctors anymore. You have orthopedics, but yet you have somebody does a hand or someone does a foot. They're specialized, and so to bring somebody in is a huge step to maybe see a problem or see something that might happen before it occurs and say, man, maybe we're going to hold off on this because this is what's going to happen. But before, it's kind of like driving in the dark kind of thing, if you will. All right, with that, I'll tell you what, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna take our first break. This is a chance for you to go out and get that chip chopped ham sandwich and a little bologna, you know what I mean? Get yourself something to drink. Nestle back in. You got 30 seconds. We'll be right back. All right, hey, welcome back to Good Sports, the Next Generation. I'm Dan Craven, DJ Craven on my right. Jay Verno got chair switched. He didn't practice. If you're out there, if you're playing an instrument, first chair, second chair, third chair, he didn't practice enough. He's on fourth chair. Your goal is not to be fourth chair. This chair. Aaron moved up to third chair because he's the man of the hour. And we're going to welcome back. We just want to DJ's got a flyer here. We're going to let you run with it, if you will. What programming, or what do you plan for the MARC, people in Meadville? If you could, just tell us what you think we need to know.
Well, I think, especially with the kids nowadays, we need to get them out there. We need to get them playing. I think, there's a lot of those video games going along.
That's for sure.
NHL 19's already coming out. So I really wanted to hit the kids pretty hard. And the first program I really wanted to talk about was the Little Penguins program. It's a great program. I've been talking really closely with Mike Chase on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And what happens with this Little Penguins program is for a very small registration fee, we equip the kids. We get them everything from head to toe, a stick, a bag, plus 10 hours of ice time with local user groups, so the CCYHA and the Bulldogs. And it's just a fantastic program. If you want to get started playing hockey, you're not going to get any better than the Little Penguins getting free equipment, stick, bags, and 10 hours of ice time. And you guys know how expensive ice time can get.
Yeah. So. But this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this just isn't like, okay, Aaron's coming to Meadville, we're going to start this program. I mean, this is a proven product.
Oh yeah. This actually is kind of funny because in Western PA, it is known to sell out in less than 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes, all the rinks will be sold out because there's usually a 66 for Mayor Lemieux, 66 cap limit for each session. So, as you can imagine, in each rink, 66 people can go like that with registration. The Pittsburgh Penguins take care of all the registration. All we do is provide the instruction. And it's great. They are they're the best organization we have, by far.
Absolutely. So this is something that I'm sure it's on this piece of paper, but where can these people find this information out?
You can go to PittsburghPenguins.com. You can also go to the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex as well, and you'll be able to get it on markforfun.com in the next week.
Okay.
Age? What's the age? I mean, is there a minimum age?
Minimum age is 3, and maximum age is 9.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, again, just to kind of reiterate what he said, so basically $175, your kid can come out for 10 hours of ice time with some actual instructors, USA instructors, but then he's going to have equipment, or she is going to have equipment for that $175. And correct me if I'm wrong, you can't get that for $175. You want to just go out and buy all new. That's not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
Certainly even for the young kids. So that's just a phenomenal achievement that the Penguins have. And again, now with your connection, Aaron, to be able to bring it here to Meadville. I mean, I lived in this rink for 20 years or more, and now I'm back living in it again.
That's right.
Even as an adult, and to be able to hopefully continue to promote our program here and in our area, to be able to use the facilities. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've just learned about this now. I've always heard about Little Penguins, but to actually understand what the gravity of that is, I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and Sidney Crosby started this program, I believe it was 8 years ago at this time, I think, and it's just been growing. I mean, finally we're in Meadville. It started with the Pittsburgh area rinks. Now it's full blown to all the way up to Erie now. So it's a great thing, and like I said, I can't be more proud of Dick's Sporting Goods for really stepping up. They really donate all the equipment. I mean, right. The Pittsburgh Penguins do such a good job with their sponsors.
Right.
They're such a class act organization.
Right.
So, and our Learn to Play here has been going forever. So now we can just partner the Learn to Play here with CCYHA with the Little Penguins. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, what he said, and the cutoff you said was at 66. Mary, and so with that said, now people, if your son or daughter's thinking about doing this, I'm not sure when you're able to start doing this, but I wouldn't hesitate, because you can figure if it's in Erie and you're only allowed 66 people in Erie, those people from Erie, if they know it's down in Meadville, they're coming down here to play, because this 66 number is going to go quick. And people from Titusville and then down in Mercer and Greenville, they don't have this opportunity. We got a guy on our team that comes up and plays night off from Greenville. So if you're going to think about doing this, and I know guys that couldn't play when I was, when Deej was playing up, or some other guys when they were younger, because they couldn't afford it. Now here's a chance. You can get right into it. So. Kudos to you, and that's a walk-off homer for your first program. So what else you got planned for us? Well, not to downplay the Little Penguins.
I mean, we have the normal user groups, the CCYHA. We're going to do the figure skating again this year. We have curling coming up. But really, what me and Jay have been talking about is a lot of the daytime ice time. Trying to fill that up. So I've reached out to some homeschool groups, the Crawford County Homeschool Group. We're actually going to meet with them and get them involved in some sort of way. And also the Special Olympics. I think that is a big one that we're going to try and get. They do a lot of winter games as well. Everybody knows the summer games for the Special Olympics, but a lot of people don't know that there's a winter games as well. So if we can get these kids out here, give them opportunities to figure skate or to play hockey. There's sled hockey that's out there. There's wheelchair curling out there. There's plenty of programming to do. We just need to make those connections, and that's exactly what I'm going to focus on.
Do you have any connections with sled hockey or any of those other?
Yeah, they have sled hockey at the Lemieux Sports Complex as well. So I'm reaching out to them, the connections I have there, and hopefully we can get them to be a satellite location up here in Meadville.
That's good stuff. That's good. Yeah, it's good to see the figure skating people back. I mean, there was always some, that I always thought that was a good thing to have around, and it's good that to be thinking about having them come back as well. And of course, curling. I think Jay. I mean, you could speak to that. It seemed like to be a really big success. I talked to a lot of people.
I'll tell you what, for a first-year program, I mean, it met and exceeded our expectations in terms of, yes, you got to understand, it was turnkey. There was no cost at all to the MARC.
Right.
To get curling going. That just doesn't happen, right? So that's a testimony to Adam, I should say, letter A. Adam Reese and his team of motivated curlers that wanted to have curling in Meadville. And now that we're sanctioned and we're the official curling spot, they are going to be the place for curling in this immediate area, right?
Right.
So the thing that they brought to the table was bringing the actual rocks here. The rocks are what keep clubs from forming up all over. People love curling.
Right.
It's a very popular sport, but it's very costly to start that kind of program. They literally took it on themselves and said, we're going to do, they're doing a rent-to-own program. So they basically are financing the Rocks over a 3-year period. And the idea is that as that program grows, and that's why they've got to charge what they got to charge, because it costs a lot to put that on and buy the ice time. Remember, the MARC is only selling them ice time. So we're not subsidizing this. We're not doing anything there other than being very supportive. And you know, we can help them with marketing. We can help them by supporting them. But the idea was, when they came to us, we knew that we couldn't really invest any money. So they did that on themselves. They started off with 32 people join the league this past year, and we had over 300, I think it was 350, that went through the learner curls, right? And you guys saw some of that.
Right.
This coming year, it's just going to grow, because people that did it loved it.
Sure.
So they're going to probably come back and talk to their friends about learner curls. And the idea is to get as many people through learner curls as possible. Some people, it's a one and done. They tried it, it's a bucket list time, they tried it, I'm done. That's fine.
Right.
There's other people that like catch the bug, and I was one of those guys. I didn't know. I didn't
Right.
never done curling before.
Right.
I tried it. I said, what a great way for me to get some exercise that's social, that's
Right.
a lot of fun, and honestly, I'm not an athlete, right? I'm not going to be a professional curler. I don't have to be. I had a ball just coming out and enjoying myself, and you know, it's one of those sports where adults can do, and you don't have to be in the best shape, but you're going to get in better shape, because when you curl, be amazed at how many steps you get in, right?
Yeah.
So his goal is to double that. His goal is to actually have 2 different sessions now and go from 32 to 64. And I 100% believe that he'll hit that goal. I know how Adam is, and he's very driven for the sport. That's what he cares about, is the sport, and he wants that sport to happen at Meadville, because we were very welcoming of a new idea. And the idea was, yes, it's brand new, so there's some people that thought it was gonna flame out, right?
Right.
We pretty much use that as a motivation to say, we're gonna make this work, and phenomenally successful. I have people to this day tell me, so glad that we brought that, and now we've got corporations looking to sponsor teams.
Good. So getting back, I just wanted to look at a couple other questions here, but some of the other groups, now Allegheny College, I know they played some of their games here. Is that still potential?
Oh, they're
reach out
here.
They're
I've already
in?
talked to them. Yep.
Excellent.
They're good to go.
Now, we know that the longest day of the year, and June 21st is right around the corner. And then, so just kind of take us a timeline, if you will. I know we're in the middle of some summer stuff now, but as much as you want us to know, so what's going to happen in, like, from summer to fall to winter? When does the ice go in? When does the ice come out? Like that kind of stuff. So what's kind of like from now until this time next year, what are we kind of looking for?
Well, right now what we're doing is we're trying to get our roller hockey and our floor hockey going with the youth. We do have the Erie Inline and Floor Hockey Association. They're now starting to come down.
They're going to catch the bug.
Yep, they're going to catch a bug. That's absolutely what's going to happen.
Center Ice, they lost a rink up there.
Yep.
And the Civic Center is going to be all waters. And the other one is the JMC. I don't know, it's on. So you're going to see a lot more of that down here.
Yep. So we're
So I'm
we're
okay
pulling
with
those
it.
people. Oil City, they already have their own. So the people that were going from Meadville there, now they're going to start coming here. So talking to Tony and Pat, they're all on board for a Saturday morning adult league.
Right.
We got our youth pickups and stick time now that we just had one here. Right before we got on air here, and. That will be pretty much, going until we actually start the roller hockey league. We're hoping to start that by June 30th. Once we start that, we'll run that through August. I'll be working really close with Roger, with building. What's he run?
Building committee.
Building committee for the chiller group. So that we'll be working tandem with them to get the chillers done.
And that's Roger Gilday. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Roger for all the effort
he's been
put into that
fantastic.
I
project.
met the man once.
Yeah, Roger's actually.
I've
great.
heard of him.
So, but hopefully by September we'll be having September 12th is actually the target date for ice to come in.
September 12th.
Yep,
Nice.
that's the target date to get that in. Once from there, we're looking at learn to skate really hard. Allegheny's actually talking about doing a early bird tournament. So that would be nice. Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Yep, so that would be nice to work with them. Cameron Fisher is his name. He's going to try and work that out as well. And then, just plug and play. I mean, that's really what's going to be the thing all the way up to Christmas. And then we're really going to gear up for the Bulldog tournament. It's in January.
Right.
And then hopefully over Christmas break or so, we'll have like some sort of camps. We know that a lot of the ice time goes down during that time. We'd like to get some hockey kids in here, get them, something fun. It doesn't have to be as, structured. Get them in there, let them play. Just some pickup games here. Come out on the ice and play some, soccer or something on the ice, something more fun. And then, then it will be PAL season, PAL and PIL season. Basically just run CCYHA and the Bulldogs. Curling will be going on every Wednesday. Learn to skate. We'll be on our third or fourth session from there. Little Penguins will be on their second or third. And just getting these kids involved. I mean, that's just really my goal between September and probably April. Just get as many kids to know about the MARC, that we have, ice here, and, get them off those video games. Get them out of the house and get them here. Because then once April comes, we're going to want to run some extra things. Keep the ice on a little bit longer, and maybe run some 3-on-3. The PAL will have their tryouts, so they don't want to have to travel somewhere else. They can stay here and they can do their stuff here. And I think that's important. I think Meadville needs that. We have, coming from Newcastle and Butler, you knew that Meadville was a powerhouse. With all the high school teams and the state championships and stuff like that. We want to keep that ice here as long as possible. So I think that's important to keep the community and keep the ice going.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna just to kind of maybe jump back to like the time frame that's coming up. What would be a good time for the parents to start looking to get their kids involved in some of these activities, and not even just kids and the curling and everything? We're in June now, as Dad mentioned. Right in the middle of June here. It's before we know it, snow will be flying. September will be here. Labor Day will be gone, and there goes the summer. What time should people start to look in to start signing up for things? As far as CCYHA and these Learn to Skates and the Little Penguins, and when should they kind of look to? And is it right now, or is it they still got a couple months? Or
yeah, the Little Penguins will be pretty quickly here. I think July 21st is the cutoff date for that. But again, they sell out. So as soon as that registration time, now we don't know that registration time when it will open at this point.
Okay.
As soon as we know that, it will be posted on their website, our website, and I'll be marketing that quite heavily, so they'll know exactly when that's going to open.
And we're on Facebook, so Aaron's very good about posting on social media. So if somebody wants to kind of follow Facebook, sometimes that's easier for people to do. Sometimes.
Yeah, the MARC actually has Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So there's plenty of avenues to get the information. I believe that we keep an updated calendar as well, so everyone will know what's going on in this arena at all times.
That's good to know. Very good. Yeah, so that's going to keep us busy, and keep you busy and keep everybody busy, and that's a good thing. So community just needs to jump on board, and I think they will. I think everybody's going to get excited about this. This is a pretty hot topic. Anything else? What are we missing, Deej?
No, I think that's about it. Just again, not necessarily a question, but again, just really excited for you to be here. Glad that we found you. I mean, it sounds like a diamond in the rough. It was, thank you for all of the training that they gave you down south of Cranberry. We will reap the benefits here. That's not a problem.
Not a problem.
We'll take no shame in that game. So yeah, I'm just excited as heck to get you in here and get things going and just to hear you talk even about social media, and let's get this thing fast forward into the 20th century here and get going. And
that's important. That's important. You got to keep up with the kids.
Well, because it's not even just the kids of now you're talking about my generations and the millennials just below me, that we are technology savvy, right? And even more so, and we're going to be having the kids that are going to be bringing in. We're the ones that are having the elementary school kids or just getting in elementary school. So our kids are the future, so to speak, of my generation and younger, and that's what we lived on, is technology. So the more we can technologize ourselves is basically the way I phrase it a lot around in our office, is the better off we are.
Yeah, and marketing is the key right now.
Yeah,
and getting the community to know that this place is an asset to Meadville, and let's get them here and let's get them a good time.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys. Obviously, the MARC hasn't had a lot of marketing budget, so when we do programs like this, it's a way for us to get the word out to a mass audience, and it's important to share when you have positive movements forward, and you've seen it, some of the new things that we're doing, and there's no doubt in my mind that our chiller fundraiser was successful because we had people knowledgeable about the steps we've been taking, and that's not always an easy thing. It's not always easy to get board members on board to volunteer more time away from their families or their businesses, but when you can do that and get everybody rallying around the same cause, all kinds of good things can happen. And I want to thank you both for helping bringing attention to this facility.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. The reason why, I guess I'm a little selfish in the whole thing, and got, I was thinking if I called Aaron, he's not going to say who's this guy and hang up. And no, I would have hung up on me too. But working through you because I knew you with a connection. But I guess the point is now because they know. I mean, if I'm not calling a game with me and Deej, we're playing. I used to referee. I refereed for like almost 20 years, but I gave that up. But so somebody's going to say, hey, well, this new guy. Now I can say, yeah, this guy's Aaron Rekich. This is what he's got planned. Give him a call. He's a nice guy. I met him. But before, I couldn't say, I met him. So I'm sort of selfish in as much as all the people I run into that I can, say, yeah, this is what this guy's, he's a hot topic right now, and I can speak a little bit more about what he's got planned.
Well, my door's always open, Dan, if you want to
all right, I appreciate that. So with that, Aaron, if you could, then we could probably scoot at the bottom, Kevin, talking about technology, maybe like a website, and maybe some other information that we could put on the screen.
Absolutely.
So what would be some of the call? Do you know them off the top of your head there?
Well, it's MARC for Fun on Twitter. The telephone number is 814-724-6006. My email is aaron@marcforfun.com. The website is www.marc4fun.com, and Instagram is MARC for Fun as well. So.
Sweet. So there you have it. Well, Kevin, this guy's he's a technology.
Just going to appear down there.
Oh,
probably already started up. It's right there.
Right here. Somewhere. Is it right here somewhere? Come on. Somewhere. Anyway, that's good stuff. Yeah, so the door's always open. And the other thing I wanted to ask, now during the summer, so if somebody wanted just like to stop by and look, or stop by and get like a brochure, I mean, what are the times Monday through Fridays on the weekends when you're here, when the door's open, so somebody can take a
the office is open 8:30 to 4:30 every day, so
okay.
You can always stop in there and get brochures and stuff. I'm here during all calendar events, so if you check that calendar out at marcforfun.com,
okay.
I'm here for sure.
Okay.
Most of the time I'm here during the business hours, and like I said, it's open door policy. So
right.
You see me in there, please stop by and introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Very good. Yeah. So I think we're going to go to our next break. I mean, Aaron, you want to sum anything up? You want to just close things up on your behalf? We're going to talk like a little just chitter chatter, maybe some local sports, maybe some Stanley Cup. You're more welcome to stay. You don't have to leave.
Absolutely.
And then Jay, you can stick around as well. But do you want to do final words on anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the warm welcome to Meadville. This has been a fantastic first month here, and I am super excited for the future here. So thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Okay, with that, we're going to go to our next and final break, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about some stuff. You luckily want to talk about Stanley Cup. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Hey, Dan Craven back with a good panel here. This is exciting stuff. This is like we're gonna call potpourri. Put the notes aside. All right, let's just start off with anything. I'm gonna start the topic, and then we'll just go right down the road. DJ, you can pick a topic, and then Aaron, you can pick a topic, and then Jay, you can come up with a topic, and then we all get to comment. So no, it's like I'm gonna unfortunately talk about the Stanley Cup, and then I know I'll start it off. I guess the only thing I have to say is, they're saying, Ovechkin, he sealed his legacy, whatever. But I'm okay with Trotz winning it. But I just wanted to make one observation, and I can't take credit for this. I'm gonna have a shout out to a friend of mine, Kevin Pipp, because he kind of brought this on to me. And is that the last couple of years, that Stanley Cup's won by Pittsburgh. Sidney Crosby's walking into Children's Hospital, letting kids hug it, and you're walking over here to this place, and he's taking it to the community. He's setting it. He's doing the old folks' home, and he's sharing with the community. And the only pictures I see is Ovechkin. The only pictures you see of Ovechkin after he's just drinking out of the cup. So good. He won the cup. That's the end of it. So let's just look for the future. Deej, what do you think about the Stanley Cup?
I remember my first Stanley Cup is what I would want to say to that. But
yeah,
I'd say as far as the Stanley Cup, I mean, obviously, we're all Penguins fans. We're all going to be Pittsburgh fans. No one of us are going to be excited about the Capitals winning it.
Yeah, right.
It obviously is nice to have, what I thought was kind of very nice. The amount of former Pittsburgh Penguins are actually in the Cup final was a pretty high number. I mean, obviously you got Fleury, you got some of the big names in there, James Neal on the Vegas team, but you got two solid defensemen, that basically the Penguins, had to move on from just because of a lot of dollar reasons for a lot of guys. But so I just wanted to make that again. Just obviously a Penguins fan. Notice that there's what 5, 6, 7-ish guys. I know Reeves didn't play in some of the final games, but 7 guys or so that were actually performed. England. He's on. Yeah, he's on the Vegas. You got Perron as well. And so there was quite a few guys. Oh yeah, it's like 5, 6 guys. I counted them, but that's all right. So that was my one. That would be my one dissertation. Unfortunately, it was only 5 games. I was kind of a little disappointed in that. It could have gone a little bit better, but the one thing, Scott Van Pelt is a great guy as far as the anchor position. He said, it's a shame that Washington had to win it away in Las Vegas because they probably couldn't find anything to do.
Right, it's a shame. But anyways, the other thing too is real quick, I'm jumping in. That one guy was an Otter. Erie Otter guy that played for them.
Oh yeah, who was that?
That Russian guy that was real good with Barishnikov.
Kuznetsov?
Yeah,
the guy from the Capitals.
He was an Erie Otter.
I think he was an Erie Otter.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
fact check this. Would you fact check that down here, Kevin? You fact check that, please.
Huh?
Barakovsky.
Well, it's a ski.
It's a ski. It doesn't matter. It's over across the pond somewhere, Kevin.
Somebody.
Who asked him anyway? What do you think?
Stanley Cup.
Well, we've been on both ends. I remember as a kid in '93 balling. I was sitting on my couch balling in '93. So I've been on both sides. And then, I was a school teacher in D.C. For 4 years. So I've been to a lot of Capitals games.
Go.
Connections.
And
I like it.
I'll tell you what. I do feel for them down there because they had some.
I got it.
I was at some pretty good, parties where I just kind of pushed them down under my foot for a lot of years. So I guess giving them one. I guess I could do that.
I'm okay with that. I didn't know you had connections.
They did get swept last time they were in the finals. So.
That's what I'm saying. It's great.
That's good. That is good. Okay, that's not bad. I don't feel so bad. I feel better now, actually. What do you think about the Stanley Cup, Jay? You know what the big thing is?
Yeah, even a blind squirrel's got to find a nut sometime. Right?
That's a good comment.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right, these you something. Pick whatever you want. We'll go right around the horn.
Yeah, I guess I have.
You're lead off.
We got pollen everywhere. It's snowing in June. So my big topic, it always around this time of year. Again, it's hot. It's getting a little bit warmer. What seems to be, it's the golf. We're gonna get out there. Gonna get out a little green. Maybe see a little sand action. Maybe you might not be at the beach, but you're at the beach.
Right.
So that would be my thing as far as the golf. So the main question is here. We got obviously the Masters under our belt. The U.S. Open, by the time you see this, might be over, but it's going to start here in a couple days. So the biggest question is, who do you think is going to be in the Open? Now, I know that some of us might not be golf experts or not, but what do you think here? We got those top couple. You got the young crew. The kind of the younger guys.
So like the top 5 on Sunday?
So just not necessarily top 5. I don't want to be that specific, but who do you think? Who's your kind of a gut feeling for? What do you think for Sunday? My gut feeling is I think for Sunday. Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's going to hoist the jug at the end of it? I'm going to pick somebody out of the crew. I think Dustin Johnson obviously played really well last week. He's going to be the hot commodity. There's a lot of the guys. But I think Spieth is poised to come back again here. I think so. That's my pick. Is going to be Spieth. I'd love to see a Tiger run Sunday red. Let's bring it back. But I don't know if he's got it in him or not.
Who's going to be on Sunday?
So who's going to be on Sunday? Who do we think is going to be holding the jug there?
What do you think?
I will say this. All those all or nothing guys. The Spieth, Mickelsons, the Tiger Woods. They're all nothing. All or nothing guys. But I think the people that are consistent. Matt Kuchar. I think he's
Kuchar.
I mean, he's very, very consistent. He's always there. So, but I love to see a Tiger run, Mickelson. I love to see Spieth in there as well. But I think in the U.S. Open with how vastly long the courses are, I think those consistent guys get it done. So I'm going Matt Kuchar.
Yeah, absolutely. And then maybe he'll get a raise from Skechers on his nice.
That would be nice.
Promotion.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Jay?
Well, I am the most unqualified to comment on golf. The only kind of sand I'm going to see is the sand at the sandbar this summer. So
there you go.
Just so you know,
Right,
I've traded in my golf clubs for my pontoon boat, and I'm sorry to say I'm woefully ignorant about golf, and I don't miss it. That's okay. I appreciate the game. I appreciate the athleticism, but I could never.
You're going to the 19th hole.
Get there, so I'm not there.
Yeah, it's one of those games. It's the most frustrating, rewarding game in the planet on the earth. I think self-deprecating.
Yeah, my 2 guys are going to be Ricky Fowler, and I'm going to have to go with Dustin Johnson, of course, just because. I mean, if you're going to pick somebody, if you're going to bet the mortgage, I wouldn't mind seeing Tiger Woods come back. I already won money off him because I made a call the other. I predicted when he started going down that he would not win in 5 years one major, and I won that bet. So now I won that bet off a guy I work with. That I'm going to go with Fowler and Johnson, only because I want Ricky. I'm going to say Ricky Fowler. Okay.
Be good. Be great to see it.
I would love to see it. Aaron, topic. What do you think?
Well, one thing that I'm not a huge basketball fan, not a big basketball fan, but there are polarizing people, and what I can't understand is I've been following LeBron for, only about 2 years. Now, I know about his legacy, and we all know about his legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But what I don't understand is, the good he does for the community, the money he brings in, and somehow some people still don't, aren't embracing him. I just, I get it. He's polarizing, and we do the whole Sidney Crosby thing, where Sidney Crosby's great in Pittsburgh, but no one else likes him in the rest of the country. But I just can't understand, for what he does with the community, why people are more on his bandwagon.
Well, go ahead, Jay. You got a comment. I'm second.
Well, sometimes people don't like successful people, and it's hard because they're focused. He's focused on winning. He's focused on doing what it takes, and I respect him for that. On the other hand, I understand that, I don't know if you know this, but apparently it was reported that he broke his hand after the first game.
Yes.
And so he played really the rest of the series with a broken hand, is what I understand. You have to fact check me on that. But
right here.
I'm going to say, a player at his age and his maturity, probably wasn't the smartest thing to punch a whiteboard, okay? I understand. He felt that game was taken away from them. I'm sure he was very, very frustrated, and stuff happens. But, you do something like that, you potentially could have cost your team that championship.
Especially
he's got the talent. There's no doubt about it. He's got the talent. Was he 100% for that series? I don't think so. So, I just, like I said, I respect his talent. I respect his ability. I do respect everything he's given to his community. But if you're going to be a team leader, you got to lead in a different way. And that team's not good enough to have their star player try to go through the finals with a broken hand. I'm sorry, basketball is kind of important.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, and what do I know? I'm with you, Aaron. I don't follow basketball a lot, but I think it all started when this high school superstar is coming out of high school from the Cleveland area, and he jumps ship to go to Miami because he thinks that's a chance for him to win a national championship. It wasn't him saying, Mario Lemieux, I'm putting this city on my back in Cleveland, and I'm going to stay here as long as I can. And so because we had people, Cleveland fans are tough. They're like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. They're throwing his jersey and burning it. So I think when he made that trade, and it was like more of a selfish thing, like, I'm going to go down there with those three other guys. And it got to the point when he went down, and I can't remember who those other guys are because I don't follow basketball. Like, they only brought, for the Miami Heat, they only brought 3 guys out. Now, when I went to school, you played with 5 guys, but they only showcased, the 3 guys. And I think that just left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so maybe he's now trying to rectify that, but I think that was a big part of it, in my personal opinion. And that's not even a fact check. That's Dan Cravenism. Stop it out there. Your turn.
So yeah, I tend to agree to kind of with all of it. You want, why is everybody, just this just downright mean to him and just don't like him? And it probably has a lot to do with success. It has a lot to do with, the enviness of, and listen, the reality is that we're watching greatness here. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he's not a good leader. He left on bad terms. He's greatness. There's this whole, obviously MJ, he's always going to get related to him. Any hockey player is going to be into Gretzky, and it's just you're always going to have that, and you're never going to settle it. You're never going to know. But the one thing that I would say about the whole LeBron thing is that you look and see where we're at now as far as the NBA and how much he changed that. They came out with only him and Dwayne Wade and the other guy, Chris Bosh. Only the 3 of them came out, but that started this whole movement of all these superstars. Old school. You don't want to do it on your own. That's okay, but this is a lot cooler because we get to hang out with our friends. It's so much similar to the golf. We're not to bring it back to golf, but at the same time, Arnie and Jack weren't friends, right?
They're competitors.
They were competitors. Now, Spieth, and Ricky Fowler and Dustin Johnson. They're going on these vacations. Now they're competitors when they're out there on the course, but off the, they're not the course, and that's just a different generation. It's just a generational switch here that they are competitors. And they're more of like it's a different professionalism almost a little bit. They're competitors inside the lines, inside the court, inside the rope, so to speak. But once they get off, hey, let's go have a beer. It's just completely different mentality. And that's, not only now I've swung full circle here to the NBA, that's just kind of how our culture has changed. I mean, it's in the cultural change here that LeBron James, I guess he was a little bit ahead of his time with all things, and that's what I would say about that.
And I would say, the old school athletes, they stuck to their cities.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's one thing I will say about them. Through thick and thin, they were there. So I guess it is different nowadays.
Yep.
I guess absolutely. I'm getting older.
You got to change with the times, right?
Yep.
All right, Jay, pick something closely related to sports.
Steelers.
Ah,
What do you think of the Steelers for this year?
I'll lead off. I got to be lead off. And DJ's heard this a million times.
Oh, I don't even. I wonder what it's going to be. Somebody just write in to show what he's going to say, please.
I'm not a Tomlin guy. What is good for this area is that Randy Fiedner is going to be the offensive coordinator.
Yes, sir.
That's a part. He played football here. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, he went to Purdue, and you see him all around. See, he knows his meaningful history. But so that's good because him and Tomlin are buddies, and that's the only reason.
Well, I don't think it's just their buddies. I think that Randy Fiedner is one of the hardest working guys you're going to see
I knew
in the NFL.
But of course, Tomlin brought him in as wide receiver coach. I mean, that was the connection. It's just kick the extra point. Forget the onside kick. Just do things that just get you there. I'm done.
DJ.
I'm tired.
So I guess as far as the Steelers go, I mean, obviously,
Tired.
big Steelers fan, and we can find out why Aaron said boo. So we're interested in hearing that. But I think that they always going to have a chance when you got the killer bees. I mean, and if we're going to be in our corner, you're obviously going to have a chance there. But my question is that Mr. Roethlisberger, are you actually going to play football for the whole entire year and then into the postseason? That would be my question. Now, granted, we've had some ups and downs over the few years, but it starts and ends with you, and I don't want to hear crying afterwards when we lose, and I don't want to hear how amazing you were when we win. So we talked about good leadership with punching the whiteboard. Let's act like a leader. That's always been my biggest complaint about it. It's everything. It's the same thing. The selfishness. Wear a helmet when you're a football player, when you're riding a motorcycle.
Yeah,
okay? We pay you to play football, not to have fun and watch the hair go through, or the wind go through your hair that you don't have. So it's all the little things. I'm a Big Ben fan. I'm a Big Ben hater all at the same time. He's the biggest baby and the toughest guy we have all at the same time. So it's going to start and it's going to end with him, and he needs to be consistent. So hopefully that's the case, because I would love to get back, at least just get back to another Super Bowl. So hopefully that's the case. So.
The reason I said boo is because I can sit here and I can talk calmly with you about the Steelers, but I am a Browns fan, so don't hold that against me.
No, not
a long-suffering
But
Browns.
yes,
Yeah, right, yes.
It is. But I will say this: I 100% agree with you. I can sit here and have a great conversation about the Steelers. I do root for them if the Browns are completely out of it. But I will say the leadership is what gets me. I feel like Tomlin is a little bit hypocritical when it comes to some of his players. I think Ben Roethlisberger, he likes to talk after the fact something happens instead of just cutting off things of the past.
Right.
I think that's a huge issue with there. And I think Le'Veon Bell, I'm sorry, you're just being a baby. Business is business. Just play football.
Yeah.
You're a football player. Play football.
And he won't show for
he's probably the best all-purpose football player out there right now. So just play football, and then you get paid.
Yeah.
You get paid.
All right, very good. All right, real quick, just final thoughts. Steve, and I'll end it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know we kind of started this whole thing. Yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here, obviously, at the mark. Kudos to the board and everybody that was involved in bringing in Aaron, and hopefully that, not hopefully, but we know that this is going to continue on here, and and I hope that my kids can enjoy this someday, and that it's here, and that it's better than ever. That chiller that keeps coming in, and we always say about the chiller. The chiller that's going to come in, that we're all going to be really excited for. That took a lot of hard work. So again, just a kind of a thank you from myself, from us that enjoy this rink, because I would probably drive my wife crazy in the winter if we do not have this rink. So thank you for it, and I'll thank you on behalf of her that we can continue this thing here.
Well, thank you very much, DJ.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a great thing here. And like I said, I just want to thank the Meadville community again for making me a part of you, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, we're excited.
By the way, my favorite sport is baseball, so hopefully the Meadville Bulldogs do great in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's right. So go Bulldogs, and I just want to thank the whole community. That the support for this facility has been awesome. All the 40-some years that we've been in existence, but this was a time where we kind of had to put up or shut up. We needed to go out and raise some serious money for the chillers, for the ice side to function the right way, and there were some tense moments there, especially around the Bulldogs tournament last year. So I'm really happy that we accomplished that goal, and now obviously I think everybody needs to know that we're working on the operations, the programming, all the good things that come after you ensure that you have a facility that's going to be operational. And of course we're going to try to operate at the highest degree of efficiency as we possibly can, and that's where I just can't tell you how excited I am to have Aaron. I know the board is excited, and we're really excited about becoming really the focus point. Again, it's not like we didn't do a good job with hockey, but we've got other opportunities that we want to exploit, and it really makes for a better overall facility, and it makes a much stronger case for the community. So again, thank you to the community. Thank you guys for putting us on and letting us share our story, and we're looking to move nowhere but up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just a couple of lighter notes. I know that hats off to I think Cambridge Springs boys volleyball. They had a run there, but I think they lost early. I think Sacred Town girls softball, they were running in the playoffs, and then I think they lost. And Concord girls, I think last I knew, were still playing. So I just hats off to those guys, as well as the Meadville Bulldog baseball team. But again, I'm just going to echo everybody's comments. I think enough said with that. I just opportunity again. I was a little selfish to get a chance to meet Aaron. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen here. And again, don't hesitate. It's a proven product, this Little Penguins thing. And the MARC's a proven product, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be here this long. And so as a community, we got to get behind them. I know we are. We're excited about it. Again, I'm with DJ. I think, we spent a lot of time here, my wife and my daughter running around doing stuff, watching hockey. And she was a good athlete in her own right. But with that said, we're just going to sign off the next time. So for myself and my co-host DJ, and then of course from Aaron Rekich and Jay Verno, from the MARC, this is Dan CRAVEN saying good night, everybody.